thing. If you listen to the words of the Rebbe, and we not try to fit the Rebbe into any preconceived notion that we already take as a place, even if we took it from the Rebbe as what the Rebbe is talking to us, so it's going to be hard to hear. Well, let's follow the map of the Rebbe instead of jumping to figure it out. The Rebbe says, "Emunah chachamim," whatever that means. We don't know what that means. We don't know. We know the one thing. The taich is Emunah is faith. Faith means I don't know. I believe. That's what belief means. Belief cannot be that I know. Belief means that I don't know and I believe. And my belief could be so strong like knowledge. But belief means I don't know. I can't prove, I don't know. That's what belief means. And chachamim means in sages, plural. That's all we know in the taich. But why, how do we do it? And why does that mechanic help me for me to make decisions? What is it? A segula? It's an EBGB thing? If I have faith in the chachamim, that's going to give me. And if I have faith in God and not in the chacham, so I don't have that. I won't have mishpatei emes. Question one. Question two, like we asked yesterday, is if at the end result my decisions are coming from one of two choices, 50% of the time I'm going to hit the right choice. So if I hit the right choice, is that mishpatei emes or is that mishpat ma'ukul? So he said it can be mishpatei emes because then I don't need a emunah chachamim. I only need a emunah chachamim for 50% of my choices. For the 50% of the time that I'm going to fail and have mishpat mukul. So it must be that even when I pick the right choice, if I don't have emunah chachamim, the right choice is the wrong choice. It's with an atiyah liyamin ulismal. So the question is why? How does that work? So we said perhaps from the words of what the Rebbe is saying, we could understand that since the Rebbe is talking about in the beginning of the Torah, it seems like he's talking about mishpat as a global mishpat. Klal Yisrael has dinim. There's a gzeira on Klal Yisrael, and there's a mishpat. And in order for our mishpat to come out la'or, it should come light. That the sentencing should be favorable. We need emunah chachamim. Then the Rebbe goes in and starts talking about everything that I learned. All the things that I learned. I need to receive and take out mishpatei emes. And the Rebbe defines it even deeper, and he goes, Dahainu. Mishpatei hanhagos. Now the Rebbe changed from mishpateinu la'or to mishpatei emes to mishpatei hanhagos. What does it mean, mishpatei hanhagos? Says the Rebbe. Sheyeda eich lisnaig hein la'atzmai hein la'acherim shemisnagim lefi daita. Mishpatei hanhagos means that I should know how to conduct myself and behave myself for myself and for other people that conduct and behave according to my das. Each and every individual according to his aspect, his bechina. What does that mean? Says the Rebbe, according to the control and leadership that he has. Hein l'rav, oy lamat. Whether it's to a lot of people or little bit people. So now the Rebbe took mishpat and made it very, very individual. He made mishpat into my decisions, my decisions. Mishpatei hanhagos means my decisions on how to behave, my decisions on how to conduct my life, my decisions on what to invest in, my decisions on which school to send my children to, my decisions on what shul to daven in, my decisions on how to talk to my wife, my decisions, the millions and billions of decisions that we make in life from the moment we're born till the moment we die. So now the Rebbe, and that means everything he says applies to this. And all of this, I am zoicha, I merit through emunah chacham and shehu b'chinas lo yisasa. So wait a second. So all of this I'm going to merit from emunah chacham, which is lo yisasa, And then when I have this chus through Emunah Chachamim, then I will be able to take out mishpatei hanhagos yesharis, a new word added, not mishpatei emes, not mishpatei baro, not mishpatei la'or, not mishpatei hanhagos, but mishpatei hanhagos yesharis. What does that mean? That
Right.
the decisions that are going to be gleiche decisions, like you said yesterday, Moshe, decisions that are going to be straight decisions. What does it mean, Yesharos? The B'chinas Mishpatei Emes, which these are Mishpatei Emes, she'ein noita liyamin or l'smail, that it does not veer, not to the right and not to the left. So now the Rebbe took this to another level here, and he's being very, very specific, and he's telling you that all the learning that you learn, which means all the experiences that you go through in life, you have to be mekabel v'yotzi. You have to be medayik on these words. What does it mean, she'ikabel v'yotzi? What does it mean to be mekabel? Anybody?
What does it mean?
Okay. So what you're saying is that acceptance, the way you're explaining acceptance, that's I'm trying to go into acceptance.
Yeah.
Acceptance means that I receive this as a gift from God. Not that it's a bad thing and I received a bad thing. In order to me to have real acceptance, it's accepting that this is a hug from us. I want to tell you a story. Was diagnosed with cancer that only 20 people, when he first originally was diagnosed, he was diagnosed with something that took 98% recovery. Only 2% of the people don't recover from the cancer that he had. It's a procedure, they take it out, and that procedure has 98% of it never ever coming back again and again. 2% of the people that have testicle cancer are the ones who it comes back, it spreads, it becomes something else. When he first was diagnosed, I went through this whole journey with him. So he said, okay, I got to deal with this. He accepted. And after he finished it, they took scans, they found tumor markers, and they started being biting more, and they saw that the lymph nodes, it was in the lymph nodes, and by the time they decided what to do with the lymph nodes, it spread to the lungs and to the liver. And now, once it's at the lungs and the liver, with such speed, it became a stage 4 diagnosis, okay? Because it's spreading. That's what stage 4 means, that it's a place that it's spreading and they can't contain the spreading. And once it became a stage 4 diagnosis, his percentages went down to 80, then it went down to 60, and then it went down to 40% of the likelihood of this cancer not coming back. And the only way to treat it was there was a machlokes between the doctors in Indiana and the doctors in Sloan Kettering, if he needs to make surgery on the lymph nodes or not surgery on the lymph nodes. In the meantime, they came up with this cocktail of a crazy, crazy heavy dosage of chemotherapy, which most people do not make it through the chemo because the body becomes too weak and it's impossible to go through 8 consecutive rounds of this chemo. So they predicted that it may take 2 years for the chemo. And whatever, it started getting gloomier and gloomier. And if anybody knows, was not, not so accepting, okay? And fine, but at every stage, he did exactly what you said, Moshe. Said that, it's me. I am from the 2% of the world that anything bad happens, it happens to me, and it's a bad thing. And I'm saying this as a build-up to a murder Gemaila. And then he started the chemo, and he started really, Baruch Hashem, he had Nisim. But right after chemo, right when he started chemo, a few things happened. We had long conversations. This is the end of the summer last year, or maybe in the beginning of the summer, I don't remember. But whenever he was about to start the chemo, calls me up one day and he says to me, Nachman, I just want to tell you, I decided that my whole approach to this is wrong. This is a gift. This is a matana from Hashem. I struggle with different addictions. I have personality disorders. And Hashem is giving me this gift to humble and to change. And it's the only real rehab in the world that I can do. And I'm looking at this as a hug and a gift from Hashem. From the day he changed that attitude, I am telling you, I saw nisim over nisim over nisim over nisim. He went through all 8 rounds of chemo. He, Baruch Hashem, was never hospitalized. They told him he's going to be in the hospital many times with fever of over 106, and it could be sometimes weeks in the hospital because the immune system has no koyach to fight. He had small minor incidents, never for an extended period of time, never missed a round of chemo, and came out of the chemo and had a complete scan of complete cancer-free. Then there was a shaila to do lymph nodes, the operation on the lymph nodes, or not do the operation on the lymph nodes, and he didn't know what to do, and he called the Amshinova. He went with Emunah's Chachamim, and the Amshinova Rebbe told him not to, that he doesn't have to. And the doctors, 2 months later, when they scanned again and saw that the cancer wasn't there, they said even if the cancer does come back, they would have been wrong about doing the surgery on the lymph nodes because there certainly was no cancer in the lymph nodes. So it would be a whole new cancer. He saw nisim gluyim she'en kamayim, all from what I think acceptance. So acceptance is not accepting, yay, I have something bad, but it's Hashem doing it for me, either kaparas avonis but it's bad. It's bad. You know why it's bad? Because it's different. No. Acceptance means saying and finding the way to be mataritz why this is good. Not that this is bad, but this is Hashem hugging me because Hashem doesn't do anything bad. My mother had cancer. My mother had multiple surgeries in her life. My mother was always sick since I know her. And she conquered every single challenge. And she was always accepting. Now she's challenged. It's a challenge. And the part of the challenge, like you said, the challenge is first accepting it, that it's a bad thing, but it's from Hashem. I'm sure there's a ta'alik. All I'm saying is that acceptance is not automatic. It's very easy to go the other way. Very easy to go the other way. And very easy. So there's no automatic. Acceptance is a madrega. And when you person gets to that madrega of acceptance, then he can go, every addict, in rehab, in any rehab you go to, in any program you go to, the first thing they make you do, the first thing is acceptance of my position. Hello, my name is Hi, and I am an addict. Why do they do that? Why? Because the hardest thing in the world is acceptance.
Recognizing.
It's the hardest thing in the world is to accept. I'm not really an addict. I only do it sometimes, smoking. You understand? But that means you weren't in awareness that you were addicted to it.
No.
Now, Baruch Hashem, and not only now, you knew it already quite a while already, that even while you were smoking, you knew, hey, this thing is stronger than me, and I am addicted. It's not me. I don't have the power. I do not have the power to say any longer that it's not an addiction, that I can really stop whenever I want. I can't. I need help. I need help. You helped yourself through taste, smell, whatever it is. The point I'm getting to is acceptance is not automatic, A. B, acceptance means I can't. Acceptance means I have to look at it as the best thing for me, not accepting it that it's a bad thing and I'm accepting it, I was given a bad thing. No, I'm accepting that this is the best thing for me for whatever reason. Now, it could be, like you said, to stop smoking. There could be another reason of, to get closer to my wife. I don't know. But whatever reason is, all it is rehab. All it is rehab. And it's God's rehab. So it's acceptance is the platform to the first thing. So what's the first thing that we need to accept from this Torah? Is that we live in Mishpat Ma'ukal. Every decision that we've made in our life, even if it worked out, it's a distorted decision. It is not Mishpatei Emes. You'll see later, it's Shanim Sruchim. You'll see the Rebbe condemns it and condemns it and condemns it. The first thing when you learn Torah Samach Aleph is to understand that I am accepting that I am in Mishpat Ma'ukal and I need help. And the only way that and what does it mean? It means that even though they look beneficial to me today, they are not ultimately mishpatenu la'or. They are not decisions that are going to get me to where I need to get to. All my decisions may be good enough for the barometer around the people that I'm in, and if I'm measuring, if I'm measuring good or bad based on my environment, maybe the decision was good, but then my whole environment is a mishpat mokul. Everybody's a mishpat mokul. Because if I'm not getting to my tachlis, if it's not bringing me and the people underneath me to the place where it needs to bring me, that means I live in mishpat mokul. So I'm being medayik here that the Rebbe says, Ki kol alimudim she'adam loimed tzarech sheyikabel. What does it mean to be makabel? The first step in trying to get Mishpatei Emes is being makabel that I'm in Mishpat Ma'ukul. And not just I have some Mishpatei Emes. No. Do I have Emunah Chachamim? No, I don't. So if I don't have Emunah Chachamim, then I'm in Mishpat Ma'ukul. And if I do have Emunah Chachamim, then I have, and I could start now. I could change. I could change now. But then I need to know what does Emunah Chachamim mean. It's not just Emunah Chachamim means loisasum and adava sheyagidu lecha yamin usmal. When the first platform is Emunah Chachamim is anything that's neged halacha that I'm doing. Anything that's neged halacha that I'm doing means I have no Emunah Chachamim. If Chazal said you don't do it, you don't do it. Even though the reasoning that they went through and the mechanics that they went through, that's Emunah Chachamim. How many things do we do where Emunah Chachamim doesn't just mean Reb Chaim Kanevsky, Reb Dov Landau, Reb Luzer Koenig, Reb Moshe Kremer. Of course it means that too. But it starts off with Chazal. Are we in line? Are we in alignment? Are we in alignment with our sages who are in alignment with Hashem? So if we're not in alignment there, it cannot be that we're living Mishpatei Emes. It must be that we're living Mishpatei Ma'ukal. So the first platform here is acceptance. I know I'm wrong, and maybe I'm weak. Maybe I can't do it. I can't do all of it. Rabban Shalom, I want to have Mishpatei Emes. But one thing I know, the first thing is I don't have it. I accept that I don't have it. And please help me be zoichet to Emunah Chachamim, so I should be able to get to more and more and more Mishpatei Emes. And it's a process, like we said yesterday. Yamin Usmail, Derech HaMamutza is always the middle way between right and left. So if my right and left shifted to one extreme, I don't have to go jump. And this is a chiddush that the Rebbe is saying here. I don't have to jump. All of a sudden, I'm in awareness. Hey, Gevald, I am not religious. I used to be religious. Now I'm not religious. So let me put. You know what? But I know about religion. Okay, I'm keeping Shabbos. I'm putting on tefillin. But wrong. That's why you fail. The way to get there is just find the medium in where you are right now. I am right now. My right and left is very distorted. So I'm going to find something in the middle, my derech hamamutza now. And that's going to shift my left a little bit right. So now I have a new derech hamamutza. I'm going to have a new medium. And that's going to shift it another right. And right, until I'm going to be aligned with Emunah's Chachamim, with Emunah Damtzusa, and I'm not going to fall into the same challenges that I fall into before. And I'm taka going to really, really change because I have Emunah's Chachamim, and the Emunah's Chachamim is giving me the guide to shift and look for the medium, for the middle place in wherever I am and wherever my right and left is. And I think that's revelation. That's a revelation, and that's the Rebbe talking to us directly. The Rebbe is doing surgery now in this place. You understand? And this place, the surgery right now is Emunah's Chacham.
How much the economy tickets are?